All right, here we are with Erina McWilliams-Lopez. This is a mouthful. This is our second interview, I think. First time I met you, you were started out with Bliss Bites Cafe here at the.
It's like a year ago.
I know, and you were this cafe manager, but I didn't realize at the time that you weren't just this cafe manager, that you had this incredible background that you social impact programming at Middlebury Institute of International Studies, also at Lynn University in Boca Raton and International Endowment Network in Greater Boston. So you're this unassuming girl at the cafe that is slinging little healthy meals out to people, but really your pedigree, you worked in venture capital and everything else.
Yes.
So shouldn't surprise anyone when you were named executive director last June now, and then you started on July 11th. What made you want to take a position here? Because there's got to be a lot of moving parts here at the Cape Ann YMCA. What made you want to take a position as the executive director here?
Well, I think at the time when you met me, I was in venture capital and I was building this business, but in a way it felt like a sabbatical because the work that I had done at Middlebury and at Lynn, doing social impact work, working with business partners all over the world, when you're working in the world of social impact, when you're trying to do good for a community, whether it's your own community or some other community in the world, it's everything. It's like, it's your heart, it's your skill set, it's your head, it's everything. So I wanted to sort of before I took on my next big role, I wanted to do something completely different. So slicing bagels and doing a little side work, keeping my feet wet in the professional world. I was kind of at that moment and I was looking for my next big thing. So taking on this position, I knew it was going to be big and I knew I had to be ready for it. So I think it was just really the timing.
And the press release said there was a lot of people from all over the country had applied for this. So for them, and they said there's a lot of very qualified candidates. For you to come out on top, and being a person that grew up here, that's got to feel pretty good.
It did. They definitely put me through the ringer. So it was a hard-won process. It was great. I learned a lot, and I think that's part of the reason it was a hard interview process is because it's a big job. So there were a lot of different phases of the interview process to make sure it was a good fit for the YMCA, for the North Shore Association, and then for me too. So
it's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm glad that it took so long.
This YMCA, this Cape Ann YMCA, it's a lot of moving parts here. I'd be overwhelmed. But I don't have a big, experience with big corporation type. Because I don't know how many employees are here.
It depends on the season. But in the summertime, when we're fully open with Camp Spindrift, we can have up to 200 employees at a time. It's typically about 180, and then in the winter it's about 160 something.
Right, and departments and programs. So did you inherit the team that was here, or did you bring in some other people? How difficult was the transition for you to come in, hit the ground, and say, okay, this place isn't going to fall completely apart?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. So I inherited a very seasoned team. So the person sitting in this chair before me was the CEO, Chris Lavasco, who's a man from Gloucester, a leader from Gloucester as well. And so him and the other leaders in the association have really been mentors. It's actually, compared to a lot of other big jobs I've had and big jobs I've seen, having an association that helps focus on operations, financial, sustainability, having that layer in addition to focusing at the local level of the organization, it's really amazing because you get a bird's eye view when you go back to your folks at the association, and then you're, kind of in the trenches every day at the local level.
Right.
So it's a really nice back and forth to have that. But I inherited a team, which meant that we had to figure out how to build a new culture together. And when you're doing that, when you're going through that, it's like a little bit of a revolution.
Well, so much of your background is, putting together socially responsible programming. How much of that do you feel like was part of why you were hired in the first place, and what you plan to bring here?
I think it was a big part of it. I know that it is important I know that the YMCA was looking for someone with a particular skill set in talent development, and also in that world of social impact. Because we're, the people that work for the Y, the professionals that work for the Y, they're not just working for money. They're working because they want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think you can do well and you can do good, but it's a particular type of person that you need to make sure that they're a fit, that they buy into the mission, that they believe in it, that it connects to their purpose. So I think that's where I was able to communicate that skill set.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit earlier about how much the Y meant to you growing up, me growing up, and I know personally, like, that the Y has been such a huge part of the community. Now, right behind you is the building where I spent my formative years in my, grade school and middle school, spend hours and hours and hours hanging around this place, playing basketball and participating in the programming and stuff like that. And now, can you explain what's happening in that building?
Yes, yeah. So this is the John J. Meany Senior Affordable Housing Project. So this is somewhat recognizable once you realize this is 71 Middle Street. This is where the Cape Ann Y was born and raised. And actually where a lot of our local folks were born and raised. So many people in Gloucester have this real connection to their own development in this space. So there'll be 44 senior affordable housing units pretty much by this time next year in this space. So right here, you'll see this is going to be the new entrance. This previously, where you can see these windows here, this is going to be a common community space, community kitchen, Jack's Cafe, where the residents can gather. It's really designed as there's individual units, they have kitchens, it feels like an apartment. But in the back, there's a garden, down here, there's a shared kitchen space. So it does have that design of being a real community.
I like the green hedges around the building, really softens up the area.
Exactly, yeah. It's and then there's a garage under here where the pool used to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can see that.
Smart.
There's an entrance there too.
Are these, you said 42 units?
44.
44. And
Yeah.
are they already allotted, or how does that going to work?
So they're not already allotted. We will have, we'll go through a lottery system. So the state has a lottery system. So in the beginning phase of allotting the different apartments, we'll do an announcement. It's going to be in the fall, end of summer, early fall coming up. And then people will apply, and then it will be through a third-party lottery system.
Is there a cutoff point on income or something like that?
Yes. So there's a cutoff point on income because they are income-based.
Yep.
Affordable housing. So there's different tiers, different levels, and so we'll publish all of those different tiers, information on what your income level is, kind of similar to what we have here with flexible pricing. Like if a family makes up to $110,000, they can get flexible pricing. Kind of similar here. So it depends on how many want to move in, and there's different tiers for what the rates would be when they move in.
And no one's turned away at this YMCA?
No.
which is pretty amazing. You know, this is a Y for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's really, really amazing. So we'll look for announcements on that, and I'm sure I'll be getting press releases on that. We'll post it on Good Morning Gloucester. But for me, I love the sports here. And what are some of the programming? What can you tell me some of the I think everybody knows there's basketball. Everybody knows there's a pool here. Everybody knows that there's the fitness rooms. Can you talk a little bit about some of the programming that people may not know that are at this Cape Ann YMCA?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that comes to mind for programming that people may not know about is we have martial arts.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we have actually our lead personal trainer also has an incredible background in martial arts. So we have Muay Thai, we have, he actually teaches a strong girls session that we do usually every fall, every winter. So self-defense martial arts is kind of a, just another cool thing that I don't think a lot of people realize we offer here.
Yeah.
I think probably most people are aware that we do all kinds of different yoga. Another thing that has been a really hot trend is Pilates reformers.
Reformers?
They're called the reformers.
Okay.
And they're these, they were invented actually for people that had challenges with mobility.
Okay.
So like back issues. So you can do all kinds of incredible muscle building core exercises.
Probably what I need.
With this machine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an amazing workout and you're to get because you're always forced to be in posture through the machine. If my health and wellness director has a chance to watch this interview, she will probably be like, Erina, you botched it. This is actually how the machine works.
That's all right.
The science of the machine.
So can I ask you a question? As a 50-year-old, aging male, would it be embarrassing for me to do Pilates? Because I feel like I am strong in certain ways. But when you said reformer, that's what kind of popped in my head because I know I have terrible posture.
Yeah.
I know I when I go to the doctor, he says your back is over. I use the same muscles using repetitive issues, throwing crates around and stuff like pulling crates out of the tanks. Do you think that this would be do some men do this, or is it more of like older women?
I think that's such a good question because there is a running joke. I do almost every class there is here. I want to experience it myself, and I also want to meet members. I love meeting members through the process of doing what members do here. So there's a running joke that men are afraid of. We don't see a lot of men at group exercise classes.
There you go.
And
I should just do it, just and tape it, just to break down the barriers.
You've got to,
break down the barriers. All right, I'm gonna do a Pilates class.
You would be absolutely welcome to. Right. I mean, you'd get cheers if you did. Right. You'd get like clapping and cheers for joining.
That's a deal. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna stick with it, but I'm gonna see what it's all about, and I'll give my report. Yeah.
Good.
Funny.
Good. I'll hold you to it.
All right. It's a deal. That's a deal. So we would be remiss if we didn't mention pickleball because, if you haven't heard, and I think everybody's heard, pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the country, and I think it's like if you look at it if you showed it on a chart, it would be like this unbelievable steep curve upward that is taking the country by storm. There has been rumors, and pickleball is offered indoors on the basketball
court. Yeah.
Do you know what the hours are every morning?
7 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning.
Weekday mornings, okay.
And then we're starting a league, which is Monday nights.
Oh.
And then Sunday 1 to 3.
Wow.
And so that 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the 1 to 3 on Sunday, that's all just come play.
Pick up, yeah. It's like a round robin type of deal.
Yeah.
And I've done it, and it's fantastic. And the people of all different fitness levels, everybody's welcoming, no one's judging, and literally they couldn't be the nicer people.
Yeah.
There has been rumors that there may be outdoor pickleball here at the Y, which, I've spoken to a lot of people, and their minds would be blown and so excited for it. Can you speak to that?
Yes, so we recently purchased the adjacent land to this building where we're at now. So 4 Gloucester Crossing, which is, can't see out the window right now, but it's
In between the what's the build
the Halyard.
In between Halyard and here.
Yes.
Okay.
So we recently purchased that plot of land, and we are looking into a multi-use sports complex, which would include pickleball. Again, it's a dream, but dreams can happen, as you can tell through seeing this facility.
Yes, that's right.
So we're really just launching that next phase 2 of this facility.
So is there anything that these people that are passionate about this and the other outdoor things could do to help you in your, like, other people that they could write to, talk to, casually speak to counselors, or is this more of a not yet thing?
This is, so we are actively starting to fundraise for it, having conversations about it. We do have a prototype for what it could look like. And we are going to have, so we do fundraisers throughout the year to support, the fact that we don't turn anyone away, whether they're coming to daycare, whether they're coming to Camp Spindrift, whether they wanted the membership here. We do a lot of that through private donations, through the generosity of our community. So we do all kinds of fundraisers to make sure we can keep that up. We're going to do a pickleball fundraiser this spring. So we're going to fundraise through the game of pickleball. And as part of that effort, that's where we really start to make that connection and get people to rally around the next phase.
Can you make me a promise? Well,
I have to know what it is.
That's right. That's right. It'd be smart. That would be dumb to say yes, right? Before you knew what the question was. What I would ask of you, because that when the renderings are, the potential renderings,
yes,
I would love for you to send them to me so I can share them with the community.
That would be amazing. Right. We would love that.
Right.
Yes.
There you go. Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap up?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think what I'd like to talk about is, or what I'd like to say, just coming into this, new year, 2023. I walked in yesterday, Monday morning, first Monday of 2023. And as I've been taught by my amazing mentors, is just be part of the community, right? Walk around the building at least multiple times a day. And I walked into that basketball gym where everyone plays pickleball. It was bustling. People were playing, people were talking. And, there's just a feeling you get when you walk around and you see, people enjoying workouts in the pool together, people playing pickleball, kids learning how to swim. These are maybe simple things, but they're beautiful things. And I'm just so grateful to be surrounded by people wanting to, make their life better and therefore make their community better. And yeah, it makes me feel really optimistic and hopeful about 2023.
And I love it. I love this place, I'd just like to add a thank you to everyone that made this possible. All the generous people. The names are on the building all over the place. I know Dave McKechnie and
he's upstairs right now getting his workout.
Is he really? He's my guy. I'm going to see him later on.
He's amazing. Yeah.
He's my guy. And others. So. Thank you so much for your time and everything that you're doing in the community and your positive energy.
Thank
Always
you.
Positive.
Thank you.
I love it.
Really appreciate it.
I'll see you later.